said, why can't you do that? You can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't we setting the expectation for you
Exactly.
to do that?
Raise the bar.
This morning, our assignment was to talk about pastoral relationships um, with musicians and ministers of music, of worship, as our dean said yesterday so eloquently. I think it's very important that, and I'll start it this way. How many of you know you can recite just like that your pastor's birthday? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. All right, good. How many of you know your pastor's favorite song? Hymn. 1, 2. Okay. Let's go a little deeper. How many of you spend at least 12 times a year, once a month, sit down and break bread and eat with your pastor? 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. About half. How many of you talk with your pastor about non-music things at least once a week? Very good, very good, very good. It there's a saying. There's a saying that says it takes two to tango. You can tango by yourself, you're gonna look like a fool. But it takes two to tango. And it's hard to lead a leader, but John Maxwell has so many things of multi-directional leadership that I encourage. And I'm not saying all pastors are bad or all pastors are great or anything else like that. They're human just like we are. I think I would love for us, and those of you that are at it, maybe we can do this as a group project, get a John Maxwell book about 360 leadership, up, around, and down, and include that with our pastors and work on making sure we can communicate. Because if me and my wife are having words or at odds with each other or not speaking at all, my 3 children can feel that. They can see it, and if they want to, this is the word, they can exploit it. We're in it. I was in Tallahassee at the church, and non-denominational church, and again, that conversation. And there's a great one out there. So I just had so many experiences. That's something that I throw out there. You don't know my story. A musician, a gospel, a black musician's story. I'm going to write that. We're going to make a short film or something about that. But this young lady that was the worship leader, she was the praise and worship leader, came up to me and she said, God came to me in a dream. I said, God told me that we're married. And I looked at her like, you told your boyfriend? But not married in a physical sense. She said spiritually. She said, and she repented. She said, I repent. I ask you to forgive me because we've been sleeping in separate bedrooms. We are not together. And that's because I think I know it all and you don't. And you're new and I've been here since the genesis of this ministry. But I apologize. We need to, I'm going to do my best to make sure this works together because we're conflicting. The praise team is going to be conflicting. Everybody else is going to pick up on that spirit. And it's going to destroy our ministry no matter how great. God don't bless. What did they say? It rhymes.
God don't bless mess.
You don't bless no mess. That's the way we say it in Florida. with my accent. But I think the first the first thing we definitely have to do is to initiate the conversation. Initiate, and when you said that you had your concerns about your minister music and your pastor and everything else like that, um, how would I would speak about that? Not a planning session, but I will, when we can exchange numbers, I will give you some. You, this is gonna sound sexist, but the truth don't care who tell it, right? Amen. Ladies, y'all don't tell us what to do. Y'all lead us to where y'all want us to be. And y'all let us make our decisions, and y'all be like, oh, that's so, I agree, honey. You know, you set that thing up for me to, get to that conversation. So there are indirect, am I lying? Please, y'all, am I lying, wives? It's the truth. It's the truth. And I need you to be wise and to do that, to lead the conversation to, I would like for us to talk about not church, about ministry. I would like, and I said it yesterday, pastors along my 30 years going up of ministry, started when I was 12, playing actually. 30 years, I've seen pastors that want to pull on me, pull my gift, and have a great sounding choir and everything else, but they don't want to pour in. Now, like, I'll accept my fault. I will own up to mine, instead of saying, I need more of that from you. I need more than a check from you. I need fathership, I need mentorship, I need more. I can play for anybody church. I can read music, I can play for a Lutheran church and all that stuff. I need more than a check. And if that's all I'm gonna get from here, then we'll still communicate. I'll use you, if you need me to fill in or something like that, if I'm available, we can talk for that. But I need more from you. And I think we as musicians, as laborers, co-laborers in the ministry, need to say that. Because I think our pastors need to hear that. They can't know what we don't say. We can't say, I was in the 3rd grade, my family went to SeaWorld. My mom told me not to put my flip-flops on because it was raining, and I put my flip-flops on because I didn't care. I fell and bust my head out. I didn't, went out. And I tell people, that was the day that I stopped reading minds. I could read people's mind until I fell at SeaWorld.
Okay.
I can't read my pastor's mind. I can't read into my choir members' minds. But we have to articulate our concerns to the person that can fix those concerns.
Yeah.
Once, respectfully, I say, Pastor, you need this, Pastor, you don't, Pastor. That's not. After the first pastor, they're going to put their guard up and their wall up, and all of a sudden, because they're being attacked by everybody else. But say, Pastor, there are some things I need. You see what I just said? The way I said it?
Yes.
If I say, Pastor, there are some things that I need that I don't think I'm getting right now. If a wall goes up, then that's something that we can say, hey, I don't think this is going to work for me spiritually. Because we've not done it. I think we've all done it. We have looked the other way when we see stuff that's not right. I'll give you an example. One of the pastors, one of the guys, he was praying for a woman. Laid hands on her. She fell out, and a wig went rolling down. He turned around, looked at me, and bust out laughing. He was like, this joker ain't even in the spirit right now.
Okay.
But I could have got up and walked out, but I didn't. So that makes me complicit. You understand what I'm saying? So I think we've all, I can't say that everybody else has had, but I've seen so much. We're there 51, 52 Sundays out the year. We're there more than the pastor sometimes. We see. But we, as far as the pastors, and from my viewpoint, from the few years I've been doing this, I think we all need to put our big boy and big girl pants on and say, I know what you get from me. You know what you get from me every Sunday. You know what you get from me every Bible study, every revival. But this can't, I got to get more than what everybody else is getting from a sermon. That doesn't mean I need my own private Bible study or nothing like that. That means that we can't continue to do business as usual then. We should not have to. We should not. We do, but we should not have to go out and watch TV Jakes and all these other places to get and pour into us from what we're not getting from where we, and here we go, I'm going to say it, work. There's a difference between ministry and a job. Some of us, and I've been there, don't have to tell you, raise your hand, but there are times when it's just a job.
Right. Right.
There are times when people say this is a gig, and musicians get beat up a lot for not being a member of the church and everything else like that. But I'm sorry, if I find a child that has no clothes on, dirty, stinking, I mean, just hurt, scared, bleeding, I'm not going to blame that child for a situation. But I think we blame the musician because they have so many walls up and defenses and why they won't join a church. Instead of saying, all right, let me help you, let me build this down, let me do this. I know pastors have pimped you and told you they won't pay you $100 a night for this revival, and they give you $25 each night because the offering wasn't what it was supposed to be. That's happened to me. I've talked about so many things this is a book that we all could write a chapter on, a church hurt from abuses that we faced. But again, as damaged as we are, as broken as we are, that helps us to minister. We have to let our guard down, and let these pastors know. I don't think they know our story. Do they know what happened at that church there? Do they know what happened here? Do they know why you left this church? Do they know this? Do they care? Have they initiated the conversation? What can we do to make this even better? What can we do? What can I do? I'm not talking about add a zero to my check. That won't fix everything. Amen? Amen. But we need to initiate those conversations. We need to, and if that offends, if that's a deal breaker, then we got to evaluate. We gotta go to the prayer closet and find out if my assignment is run out here. But we have to take our mental health a little more seriously.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I'm not saying that we need therapy and go to a psychologist or something like that, but we have to take care of our spiritual being. We have to take care of ourselves and let our pastors know where we're not being fed. We have to own up to what we're not doing and what we're not getting. We need to ask for it respectfully, and we need to initiate that. If we can't, if you don't step up and ask for what you need, you can't complain that you're not getting it. Dropping hints and everything else. And really what happens, and you mentioned it again with your minister of music that might be losing her passion. Those are those are telling signs that there's something wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
And if it's not addressed, y'all say stuff roll downhill, it does. It don't roll up, it rolls downhill, and that will take over. It will take over, it will take over, it will take over. So I didn't, Brother Parrott, Dr. Parrott and I didn't really get a chance to talk about that. Those are the first things that popped in my mind about pastoral. Again, say I'm not preaching to the choir, I'm preaching to myself. There are things that we need to talk about outside of the church. We're not brother, sister, I'm Earl. He's not pastor, doctor, apostle, all that stuff. He's who he is or she's who they are. We have to, for our ministry to be authentic, for us to grab the mantle and to go with the vision of the pastor and the ministry and everything else, we're all on one accord. We have to, and they need us to pull on them to be more than just our boss, our check signer. Amen? Amen. So that's where I am right now, and I guess we'll do some questions and stuff like that in a little while, but thank you for listening.
All right, thank you, Brother Sparrow. I didn't really get into all of my introduction. I wanted to wait till I actually came to the floor, so I didn't want to take any more time. But once again, I'm Kevin Parrott, originally from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
All right.
So I'd like to say that I was born CME. I was raised apostolic. I was adopted by the Baptists. I'm living my life to the fullest and enjoying life, and I will die empty.
Amen.
I thank God that I've had the opportunity to serve in music ministry leadership now for 40 years.
Bless God.
And it has not been without its challenges, and it has not been without its struggles. But let me say this to all of you as leaders. The very first thing I want to say to you: drop the titles, drop
Amen,
the position,
amen,
drop
amen.
this doctrine, drop that doctrine, and adopt this one thing: get a life. If you're writing, write that down. Get a life.
I like that.
In these 40 years, let me say this. If you don't realize who you are, first of all,
So true.
and what makes you, you, church, ministry, choirs, leaders, all of that will destroy your life. And you can't lead anybody anywhere where you are not mentally or physically and spiritually capable.
That's right. You're right.
Get a life. When the Lord assigned me here to Florida, I kicked and I screamed. Coming from Washington, D.C., minister of music at the 19th Street Baptist. Baptist Church, the first Black Baptist Church of Washington, D.C. So I had been brainwashed and indoctrinated that I was somebody at the 19th Street when they hired me. But God did a flip to the script.
Won't he do it?
And I ended up here in Florida. When I came to the initial interview and came to the meeting and so forth, I just sat there the whole time and said, I'm not coming here. I'm coming here. I'll enjoy the weekend. But I ain't coming here. Got back on the plane on my way back to Washington, and when that plane tilted and I looked down at the water, I said, I ain't coming here. This is it. Slow, behind time, singing in unison.
Yeah. Oh Lord, oh
Hold on my pause.
Oh,
Struggling. Told the Lord, I said, that's it. I ain't coming here. I've been here since 2009. I ain't coming here. And I have just solidified that I'm going to stay. My boxes stayed packed the first 2 years of me being here.
Lord have mercy.
Because I said, I'm not coming here to this. Leave 19th Street. And I was also at the Evangel Cathedral while I was over the production of Christmas and Easter. I don't know if you all know about Evangel. Well, I was over all of that stuff. So, I was in all my grandiose and glory. And come here to Florida.
Pray today.
That's why, listen, that's why you got to be careful when you say, Lord, I'll go where you lead me. Lord, I'll go where you... Yeah, that taught me a good lesson. That taught me a good lesson. So I've been here since 2000. But let me say this. This is where my promised land has been also.
Yes. Obedience.
This is where my promised land has been, Brother Carlton. And I had to stop fighting in order to be blessed.
Yes.
And when I stopped all the kicking and the screaming and all of the tantrums and so forth, and looked around me and realized, Dr. Hardin, you're blessed here. Because I had to take what I had to make what I wanted. Mm-hmm. And I told the Lord, I said, well, now listen, now, if I got to come here and I got to stay, then I have got to get a life. I got Disney. I got all this water around me. I got easy access to the cruise ships. There's no reason not to have a life. But what happens in your leadership, now it's all right to burn out, just don't burn up. Wow. Because that will happen in men. You will burn out. Yeah, you will. But don't burn up. Because you should be able to rejuvenate him. But that only happens when you get a life. You got to separate yourself from all the choirs and all of this and that. You got to separate. You got to get a life. Because if you don't get a life, it is going to burn you out and it's going to burn you up. Yeah. And that is not. Listen, I learned that years ago when I was kicking and screaming about ministry. I'm tired, I'm sick, and this and that, of the other. So Jesus said, but my yoke is easy and my burdens are light. And be careful, ladies and gentlemen, that you are not self-inflicting yourself. Wow. You're causing these things on yourself. Listen. I have 3 L's to leadership. You may want to write this down. I have 3 L's to leadership. I love the people. I lead the people. And I leave them alone. I'm going to explain each one of them. I love the people sincerely and unconditionally. Because Brother Carlton, sometimes they do and say things. Because when I first got here, I quit every Sunday. Every Sunday, I quit. But the light bill calls me to go back to it. Right. Okay, reality sets in. And then I lead them. I lead them with integrity. And I lead them educationally. Because you can't lead what you don't know. Right. If you're not a reader, you're not a leader. Leaders are readers. And you need more books than the Bible.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
All right. And then I lead them to grow. After I've loved them and I led them, I leave them. Leave them alone. Because what happens when you plant a seed and you keep digging and messing with it? It never takes root and it never grows. And sometimes we're aggravating the people.
Right.
The worst struggle that you can get into, ladies and gentlemen, is a power struggle. When you start getting into power struggles in ministry, you're going to lose. But a person that understands and that have a life outside of that, listen, when I'm with the people, I give it my all. You can't run with the people you lead.
Right.
That's
That's right.
My Lord.
That's
That's the truth.
The problem is that we try to become buddy.
You can't.
Jesus.
You can't.
You cannot do that. I love them all the same, Brother Carlton. When we get together, we are in fellowship. They all know, don't invite me to birthday parties, don't invite me to gather, because if I go to yours,
You gotta go
and they found out I went to yours, and I don't go to yours, now I got favoritism.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So you can't run with the people you lead. You love them while you got them all together,
Yes, sir.
and then you leave them alone.
Right.
Because some people don't know how to separate the respect and your leadership. We got wrong folks in here. I don't know if I'm being taped or whatever. But when they find out the color of your drawers,
Lord Jesus.
you're in trouble.
That's right.
My Lord.
And you can take that literally or figuratively speaking, either one.
Maybe take it to the bank.
But you have to be careful with that, ladies and gentlemen, as leaders. Watch this. I think my segment was Melinda.
I got to take that in. You get 2 minutes.
And that is so true. There has to be a little space in between you and the people you lead.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's true. That's
Because remember, leadership involves two things: people and influence.
That's right.
right.
You can't be a leader if there's no people.
That's right.
And you can't be a leader if there's no influence.
That's right.
And that can be bad or good. Look at your country. Look at number 45.
Right.
Lord have mercy.
You got good leadership, you got not so good leadership, and you just got bad leadership.
Number 45.
Look at number 45.
Right.
Look what we had in number 44.
Yeah.
You see a huge
Lord have
difference
mercy, Jesus.
in the active, because watch this, people take on the spirit of their
The
leader.
leader.
Yes,
That's
they
right.
do.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, they do. Come on.
That's why you
Yes,
have to
they
be
do.
whole. You got to be sane in your own being.
Yes, Lord.
That's why you got to be together
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
And how you do that? Get a life.
Say
Good
so.
life.
Say
Teaching good.
so.
I'll run to Disney in a minute.
Show what?
And we're all African Americans in here.
Go.
We are naturally people with attitudes.
Uh-huh.
That's just innate. It's in, been in the classroom for years. And I had to get my counterpart teachers, my white teachers, to understand, because she or he is looking you dead in your eyes does not mean they have an attitude.
Right.
Because they get threatened by that.
Right.
And I teach the children, if somebody's talking to you, you look them in their face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get a life, okay? And I'm saying, get a life. Stop getting so worked up because something ain't this and it ain't going your way. Because number one, you're not the pastor.
That's right. That's right. That's
Amen.
right.
Even when I'm consulting with pastors and churches, I really strongly encourage them to stay away from preacher musicians.
We are.
Right.
Yeah.
All right now.
Why? Because ultimately a preacher want to preach.
Right.
And because they can't get a platform, they'll take a music position.
Right there.
I know what I'm talking about,
I
y'all.
know.
Okay.
Because some of them flew down here to Florida starting churches.
Been
Okay.
there.
Watch out
Lord
there
have
now.
mercy, Jesus.
Watch out there now.
Because now go back to the beginning, go to our beginnings as musicians, and that's why I don't call, and these are PRs, and that's my little personal religion. So I ain't trying to indoctrinate nothing. This is what me. It's PR. It's mine. So you ain't got to buy this. But I don't refer to people as worship leaders. Lucifer was a worship leader.
Yes, he
That's
was.
right.
Jesus.
I refer to people as worshipers. Because see, some people don't know how to take titles and act like they got sense.
True. True now.
Titles have messed up more people. That's why I don't get into titles
I
and
love him.
minister, music director, music, and all of that. Can you do the job?
That's right.
We done hired a whole lot of doctorates and PhDs and masters, and they couldn't do the job.
Get it done. Can't get it done.
There used to be a time in the church trend when they were called looking for, and I always ask these two questions when a pastor or a committee calls, we're looking for a minister of music. I said, well, let's get something clear. Are you looking for a musician?
Yes.
Or are you looking for a leader?
Yes.
Because the minister, director of music, whatever, doesn't necessarily have to play.
That's right.
Right.
See? That's right.
That's
But in our churches, Brother Carlton, we're going to kill you.
everything.
We want you to lead,
Yeah.
orchestrate, sing, direct, compose, organize. We want you to do all of that in one. And we're going to give you $25.
It's true now.
We're going to give you $25.
Trinity.
So that's what I'm saying. Okay, all right. Get a life. I can't stress that enough because I'm talking from experience. Brother Carlton, when I withdrew myself and got my personal feelings out of that, because let me tell you, the church put me in the hospital 2 times in my time.
Am I knowing that's right?
Twice.
Yes, yes, sir.
That followed by a surgery. And where did it all come from? Stress.
Yes. And they'll do it.
The church, and watch this. Don't think you it. Slip up here and die. We're going to have an ad tomorrow looking for your replacement.
Yes.
I know I'm right about it because in 2013 while I was here, my appendix burst. And I sat on that bursted appendix for 3 days.
Let's
Thank
God
God.
you're still here.
And I'm talking today.
I know that's right.
And I ain't going to go into that because that's a shouting moment for me.
Right.
But when I recovered, I looked over there on my little stand and there was a little old plant about the size of that right there. Now I'm the minister of music.
See.
The choir sent me.
Huh?
I looked over there at the plant and I looked at the little card on it. And I thought maybe from one of the children. From the choir, that big old choir. That taught me a lesson right then and there. You can sit up and die in this hospital if you want to. You'll have a ad tomorrow. That helped me. I go to Disney more often. I go to the beach more often. Because when you are whole within yourself
Yes.
and you're clear within yourself,
Yes.
you're able to serve people.
Yes.
Listen, I encourage the choir members, take time off. Just don't take it all together, but take time off. Because as long as you keep grinding people and you keep challenging, people get frustrated.
Yes.
And so, all right. So those are the 3 L's. And watch this. There are also 3 C's you need to take consideration in your leadership: culture, communication, and creativity. Now, I think our segment right here was the millennials, because I brought the idea of talking about millennials, and we'll get to them in a minute, because that's a whole nother generation. Millennials, music, ministry, and money. That's all right there, money. But listen, you've got to understand the culture that you're in.
That's true.
And I told you, I was born CME. I'm all mixed up. I was raised by the Pentecostal, the Apostolic Church. I was adopted by the Baptist Church. Okay, so I got all of that in there. We'll talk about the music part in just a moment. Then we'll go. I got all of that. And let me just kind of step aside right here just a little bit and be real. Because everybody that is serving would like to be compensated. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, that ain't nothing humble about, oh no, that's all right. No, it ain't all right.
No, it's all right.
Ain't nothing humble about that. Listen,
You have to live.
That's right.
you got to understand the culture.
Right.
When I was in North Carolina, I took a position at the United Institutional Baptist Church, right down the street from A&T. And now remember, I was raised in the Pentecostal Apostolic, so I had taken on the singing choir of the church. And the singing choir, they were singing, and in my little 20s, I was trying to compare them to Pentecostal church. Y'all ain't, Babe Ruth Jeffers, that's about 4,200. Cat eye class. Babe Ruth. Honey, the Pentecostal might got a shout and a dance, but the Baptist got money.
She wasn't lying. She
I had to call May Ruth Jeffers back after 5, 6, 7 years. Mom, May Ruth? I said, baby.
Right.
He said, what did I take that again?
True now.
Help me, Holy Ghost.
Been ignored by the Baptist church. Because something about our Pentecostal movement, we don't like to. No, okay, all right. So, culture, you gotta understand where you are.
Right.
And especially our churches that, that are traditional, they got years of, you just can't go in there turning them people's church around. You can't do that. And more young millennial musicians and music have hurt and killed themselves. You can't go in there and that's 80. Listen, my son is 80-something years old. Now, what makes you think with my little 8 years that I'm gonna go in there and flip that?
Wisdom tells you that you can't.
You gonna get flipped. You gotta know the culture. That is very important. Know the people that you're working with. When I first went there, it took me about 3 years just to keep my mouth shut, just to just look and see what's going on. Because I'm real big on structure and order. Now, we can shout and holler all we want, but if it ain't no structure and if there's no order, then we're going to have some confusion. Let everything be done in decency and in order. All right, so you got to learn the culture. Know who and what you're working with.
That's right.
Remember, you were called to be the leader, whether it's of the choir or the music ministry, whatever. Just understand you're not the pastor.
Right.
You don't go in there telling them, I stopped going to, and Lord, I almost called that convention name. I stopped going to one of these major conventions because I paid $300-something for registration, first of all. My flight was $325. My rental car was $326.75. And my hotel for the week was $1,200.
Okay. Out your pocket.
Only to go and sit in one of those classes, Dr. Hardy, that you was at some years ago, but it wasn't in your and they were just sitting in there being disrespectful.
Yes.
I paid all my money to come in here to hear y'all vent. Yeah, because I told the pastor. Yeah, because I told the pastor. I told that. That's why you almost said the name. That's why you here looking for a job. You don't go in telling the pastor anything. You have been called to serve. And first of all, you need to understand leadership is servant.
That's right.
You're a servant to the people.
That's right.
This is what I tell the musicians all the time. God is our source.
Yes.
But them people sitting in them pews,
That's it.
God allows them to be our resource.
There you go. I like
Because
that.
here's what I know. That's why I make sure they stay happy as much as possible. Mother, so good to see you this morning. Child, you wearing that hat, mama. Because this is what millennials need to learn. Because this is what I've learned. When they take them pocketbooks,
Baby.
It's cold.
they ain't gonna argue with you no more.
No.
People are showing you now through the offering.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
When they shut that up right there, me, the pastor, the custodian, and his secretary gonna be going looking somewhere else.
Uh-huh.
So you gotta respect the people.
Yeah.
Listen,
What it is.
I'll let y'all talk in a minute. We were talking about songs. They haven't taken the hymns out of the church and so forth. And we just have to look at it. That's the way things are turning now.
Right.
But here's my other one in that C, is creativity.
Yeah.
Know the culture, know how to communicate, be able to talk to people. You can't talk to people the way we used to, way they talk to us.
Right.
Though.
Right. Have mercy.
People on medication nowadays.
Oh, thank God for it. Thank God
People on medication these days.
for it. Thank God for it.
And sometimes I have to look at some of the people in the music department and say, now, who I'm talking to today? Y'all gotta know that stuff is leaders. Y'all think y'all just gonna go in there and talk. No, people got issues. Sometimes they forgot. subscription and I'm telling you, you gotta know how to communicate to people. Look, when I was coming along Brother Coleman, they would put me off the piano, told me to go sit down, told me to be quiet, and, hurt my feelings. But you can't do that nowadays.
No, you can't.
You gotta be careful how you handle people.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Cause folk coming to church with guns now.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
they are.
You don't know.
So you gotta be careful. Everybody got a button. Everybody got a button. The bishop, the pope, the apostle, the prophetess. Everybody's got a button. Cause you keep pushing that button long enough, something gonna pop off. You keep aggravating people. Stop aggravating the people you lead. Stop telling them what they gonna do.
Yes,
Be
Lord.
nice to them people. Now, you don't let the tail wag the dog,
Right.
but you still gotta know how to handle people.
Yeah.
Because it's different than it was in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s,
Very different.
especially here in Florida. You have to be careful how you handle
It
people.
really is.
Listen, you handle people with your heart, handle yourself with your head.
That's right.
We reverse it. We try to handle people with our head and handle our own selves with our own heart. What feels good to me? When you take on a leadership position, you give up yourself.
This,
Yeah, you
this,
do.
this.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
As the music leader of the church, the counselor, the doctor.
Yes, sir.
I know y'all recording. Gone to college and I had one woman come in the office. I'm just tired. I just told him to take it out. I said, well, what is I just don't. I had no church. I just don't. And I hate to see them with a straight face. And I was really concerned about her history, whatever it was. She said, I'm just tired. But when I told you. It's an old woman. So you got colleges, you got people that brought their cheering in there to me because they cutting up in school. What you bring that child to me for? But you gotta be all of that and you gotta act like you care. You act like you don't care. That's what I'm saying. Listen, that's why you gotta have a life. You gotta get a life. Because I'm telling you, that stuff will begin to wear on you. My first teaching assignment when I came out of college was a TMH class. They don't call them TMH anymore. It's trainable mentally handicapped. So I had the special ed class. And I'm telling you, they say birds of a feather flock together. And if you don't find some breathing somewhere to separate, you're gonna find yourself. I remember one time I found myself doing this. I was and I caught myself doing that. I was looking for something. Get a life, y'all. What y'all get out of here? Get a life. Y'all stop being so deep into that stuff, y'all. Because I'm telling you, you come up disabled.
You helping us.
Come up disabled. They gonna go find somebody else. They done going on cruises while you mad.
Right.
How you know that? Because I done been there.
Right.
Man, it's everything what they did and said. I'm just mad. And next thing you know, they're in the Bahamas.
Right.
How dare you be in the Bahamas while I'm mad? That taught me a lesson, Pastor. Go get yourself a Bahamas. All right, so watch this. And be creative when you get into those situations where they're not doing that anymore. Now, watch this. We did that last night. Traditionally, if you have now, that's what they say they don't want no more. But when you go no. Now we done changed the whole dynamics of it, but it's still the hymn.
Yeah.
And that's what Dr. Dorsey was all about when he organized the convention in 1932. Was to be able to not take it away from you, but to show you how to add a little something to it to make it a little bit more interesting. Now, when you say, well, the millennials still say that's old. That still got that, whatever. Then I rearranged the song, Count Your Many Blessings.
Yeah.
that gives it a little bit more of, see what the Lord has done. Now you get more choirish. Now you get it more mass choir, because you know that's me. I'm a mass choir. I like
I know
choir.
that's right.
Praise team, they cute. They cute. And they are a significant part of the worship experience, mother. So that's all right. They're cute. But if you want some power,
Yeah.
Give me a choir.
Give me a quabble.
bring the choir. And let me tell you, I know what I'm talking about. Because we've had,
Yeah.
Jesus. That's why I tell people, stop having fits and just stay right there. Because after a while, life ain't nothing but a circle.
Right.
Okay.
It'll come back around.
It's going to come back around.
Yes, sir.
There was that time, brother called me pushing out the choir.
Yeah.
Because we're going to this new thing now. We're going to praise and worship teams. And that's all right. And I still ask the question, what is a praise and worship team?
Oh.
You weren't
I asked
here
the question, I
yesterday.
said, where it come from?
He wasn't here yesterday.
Y'all looked on TV and saw this
You better teach that class from yesterday.
now we all of a sudden, that don't, that's what we want right now. And don't realize that it started with a group of hippies
Come on.
that opened the Bible to Psalm. And the first one was, this is the day that the Lord has made. This is the day that the Lord has made. Hallelujah. And so we adopted. It was Judy McAllister that came and churchalized it.
Right.
Yes.
Saints and prayer.
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
day
Right.
that the
Los
Lord.
Angeles.
Same thing.
Change our sound.
But a lot of our churches, they did, especially our Baptists. I'm going to talk about that. We started pushing out, start taking him outside. We don't need that no more. I stood right there. I'm going to hold your quiet. We're going to keep it quiet. You know, we're going to keep it quiet. Where are we now? Now you got pastors crying.